Hi everyone. Judging by what's happening here, he definitely did all the fishing rituals. There's nothing quite like needle ice for natural stress relief. A winter morning surprised this girl with a cool car cover and gave us a nice ASMR. Check this out. This is cool, not really. Get a loop. Sea urchins in Guatemala really look like creatures from another planet. Turns out Brazil is just as welcoming to arachnophobes as Indonesia and Australia. Relax, these little guys are fine. Soft-shelled turtles like to huddle up together in the sands to ride out the winter. The ultimate drama queen you can't even poke without getting some attitude. Seriously though, did you know that frogs can do this? Remember that video in case you ever feel like sticking your hand into a hole at the beach? Either there are strange rocks here, or the terrain itself is weird. There's no other explanation. At first glance, it seems like there must be a portal to hell around here, but it's just the aftermath of lightning striking a tree. looks like venom is totally real. All kidding aside, it's just your average marine flatworm, known as a polycladida, and it acts a lot like that well-known symbiote. Just in case you haven't developed a fear of outlets yet. Here's a video for anyone who still thinks that lightning never strikes twice in the same spot. The water is so clear that it looks like these fish are just floating above the ground. Amazing. It feels like if we stop feeding them, they'll crawl out of the water and take over the whole planet. Don't you think the inhabitants of the deep sea look like some of the creatures from Rick and Morty? From the flashlight, I don't get it. I don't get it either. How do I just put it back? Seems like the guy who films this figured out he's living in the Truman Show. How else can you explain that shadow from the flashlight when it's the sky behind the tree? And why is there a stop point at the end of my flashlight when it's pointed at the sky? Why isn't it going on? I don't think I have either. Not in the sky. It just kind of disappears, you know? That video is for everyone who loves chilling on the beach. Those beauties are the Australian beach worms with their razor-sharp teeth and sometimes reaching over 10 feet long. I hope I didn't ruin your vacation. Bees work so hard that sometimes they need to take a break and clear their heads. Alright, well actually, because of how their nervous system works, these insects can keep going for a while, even without the top part of their bodies. Imagine stepping out for an evening stroll and spotting this in the pond by your house. Is it a giant caterpillar or a dragon? It's hard to tell at first glance. But actually, it's just a regular snake that spent so long in the swamp that it got covered in thick moss. When you see a magnetic storm from afar, it's like a scene from a video game. Pretty cool, huh? It's pretty weird to see a powerful stream of water coming out of a tree, right? Well, that happens when there's too much liquid in the trunk. Because of this, the trees start rotting from the inside, so it's really important to help them get rid of the excess sometimes. Once you're a few miles offshore in a boat, you can run into all sorts of sea creatures. It's amazing how winter can turn even a car into a real ice sculpture. It's not snow. A banded bullfrog has the perfect sound for scoring folk horror soundtracks. Can anyone explain how this could even happen? I doubt any weather forecaster in the world expected precipitation like this. Why fix something that's already working perfectly fine? It's crazy to think that one of them planned out this route. It looks like this snake might be the first ever to forget how to crawl. I bet I can guess who would show up in your nightmares today. What is up with this tree? It is fallen, but then all of its branches are like trees now. But they're like suspended in the air by this fallen tree. It's so cool. It feels like a matrix. It seems like Hitchcock might have been inspired by the mass bird migration. The most important thing when you're in Bali is not to get lost on the web when you leave the airport. Did you know that jellyfish can be found not only in water,